So today I'm going to explain what BSc first year first sem most important questions. The subject is programming in C. So 100% guarantee. Please subscribe my channel Anu Computer Education, so that in future whatever the videos I'm going to upload in my channel, so immediately you'll get a notification. So my intention is not to give only important questions. In future whatever the important questions are there, that related videos also I'm going to post in my channel, so that okay you can go through with those videos also. Okay, thank you. So today just I'm going to explain the first unit, the concept of what is describe the data types with examples for each. Okay, so first unit write out about the definition of data type. So what is the meaning of data type? So the data types are nothing but the type of value which we can store it in a variable, so is known as data type. So in C language we have so many different types of data types are there. One is integer, a float, double, character, like short int, long int, all we have so many different types of data types are there. So whatever the data types are there, for all the data types you have to write about the definitions, and every data type is having what the memory size will be there. The memory size and range it means from where to where we can store the value, so that information we have to write it. Okay, after explaining all these definition, we have to write the simple example program for all these concepts. So that is what the meaning of data type. So next question is write the major hardware components of computer in detail. So you know computer is made up of different hardware components are there, like motherboard, like keyboard, mouse, okay, monitor, CPU, so RAM, so different okay, secondary storage devices. Okay, so everything we have to explain in detail now. So the same question is also called as explain the anatomy of a computer. So this is the same as this question. Next question is very important, that is called as explain the generations and the classification of programming language in detail. So first you have to write about the generations and classification of programming language. You know already we have different types of programming languages are there, like a high level language, assembly level language, and okay, low level language. So we have to write about all these languages and in detail. So you need to explain. The next question is write in detail about C tokens and identify data types and variables and constants. So first we have tried to identify, are also called as variables. So what is the meaning of variable? A variable is nothing but a variable is nothing but a storage area where we can store some value. So okay, so the value of the variable is keeps on changing during the execution of the program. So that is what the meaning of variable. So once one value is given to the variable, that cannot be fixed, so every time the value will be changing. So the constant is nothing but once one value is given, that will be fixed during the execution of the program. Once one value is given, that cannot be changed. Example, pi means what? 22/7. It is nothing but 3.14. Once one value is given, so no one can change that value. Even if you're trying to change the value also, the SQL the C language compiler will generate an error because the constants cannot be changed. So the type conversion. So what is the meaning of type conversion? Type convert means what? Converting from one data type value into another data type. So is known as type conversion. So suppose I'm having a float variable is there. Now that float variable I want to convert into a integer data type. So that is the one of the example of type conversion. So we have so many different types of type conversions are there. Okay, the character to string or string to character. Okay, so that all these things we have to explain. Now next the important question, that is called as define the operating system. So what is the meaning of operating system? An operating system is nothing but the mediator between the user and the interface. So we have to write about the definition, because without an operating system, a user cannot interact with the hardware component. So that we have to explain. So after that, operating system is having many features are there, many functionalities are there, like resource management, process management, all these things we have to explain. Okay, memory management, file management, everything we have to explain in detail about the operating system. So this is about the unit 1. So these are all are very important. So please go through with these questions. Definitely you'll be getting the question paper from these questions only. Please try to subscribe my channel and share the details to your friends also. So in future whatever the important questions are there, these related videos I'm going to upload in my channel. Thank you. So the next unit, I'm going to the next unit, that is called as okay. So the next unit I'm going to explain. So what is the meaning of formatted or non-formatted input and output functions? Like you know already in C language, whenever you write any C language program, for every program you need to provide some input. Okay, once you provide the input to the program, then immediately the program will do some process and finally it will generate the answer now. So in C language, if you want to provide any input to the C language program, you are going to use the concept called as scanf function. Okay, scanf. Okay, and if you want to display any output, then we are using the concept called as printf function. Okay, so these are all are called as these are not only these two functions, we have so many input and output functions like getS, putS, getChar, putChar. So we have so many functions are there. So scanf, the scanf is nothing but input function. So with the help of the scanf, you can read some information, or you can read the values from the keyboard, and those values are we are storing in the variable. So that in that case we need to use the concept of scanf. The printf is nothing but if you want to display the value of the variable, then go for the concept called as printf. Okay, so we have tried about all these things, and we have to explain one simple program. Okay, so next very important question, that is called as okay, from unit 2. Okay, so unit 2, what is an important question? That is what iterative statements. What is the meaning of iterative? So iterative is also called as repetitive statements. Please don't get confusion in final exam. So looping statements, iterative statements, and repetitive statements, these three are same. So what is the meaning of looping statement or iterative statement? So repeating the same statement or set of statements again and again until the specified condition is true. Suppose my question is I want to display the hello message for 5 times now. So generally what you will write here, you will write like this: printf. Okay, printf, in bracket you write hello. Okay, you will write hello and double quotation. So if you write one time one printf, you will get only one time output. So my question is, if you want to display the printf for 5 times, so printf hello, printf hello, printf hello, how many times you have to write? 5 times you have to write. So what I will do now, instead of writing the printf and hello 5 times, I will write printf and hello one time. The same statement I will repeat the n number of times until my specified condition is true. If you want to display the same message for 10 times, you write 10 times. Okay, or the condition you change it to 5 to 10 or 10 to 15 or what, just you need to change the value, then accordingly it will be repeating. So we have so many different types of okay, so many different types of input and output devices, iterative statements are there. So one is for loop, we have for loop is there, and next one is while loop. Okay, so next one is while loop and do while. So we have all these things are there. So we have to explain about all these things. So you have to write the for loop definition, syntax, while definition, syntax, and do while definition, syntax. So we have tried with the example program. So simple program you need to explain for all these concepts. Okay, so next when it comes to the next unit, next question is, what is the meaning of string handling function? So you have to explain about the string handling function. So you know what is the meaning of string? The group of characters which are enclosed in double quotation is known as string. So we have so many string handling functions are there, and very important thing, whenever you are using any string handling function, it is compulsory for you to write string.h header file in your program. String.h header file in your program. If you don't write, the C language compiler will generate an error. So what is the meaning of string handling functions like string length, string upper, string lower, okay, string reverse, string concatenation. So we have so many different types of string handling functions are there. So everything you have to explain in detail. So next, the next very important question is define an array and explain 1D and 2D array with example. So why we are using array? An array is a collection of storing similar type of values in a single variable. So example, if I want to store 10 values now, generally you know already one variable can store only one value. So if you want to store 10 values, how many variables are required? You need 10 values, 10 variables are required. So arrays concept, why we are using arrays concept? You are declaring only one variable. In one variable only you are storing 10 values. So that is the beauty of arrays concept. So an array is a collection of storing similar type of values in a single variable. So generally arrays are two types. Okay, three types. One is 1D, one dimensional array, two dimensional array, and third one is multi-dimensional. So why we are saying 1D array? So 1D array is nothing but it is if an array is having only one pair of square brackets. So general example you write like this: int a of square bracket 5 you write and close the bracket. Now this is called 1D array example. So this square bracket, you see right here I written a square bracket. This square bracket, how many square brackets are written? Only one pair of square brackets. So it is called as 1D array. So similarly you can also create 2D array. It is having two subscripts are there, two pair of square brackets are there, then that is called as 2D array. So example, I will write 2D array also. Suppose example I am writing int a of 2 and 2. So total 2 rows and 2 columns are there. So this first subscript will indicate row and the second subscript will indicate column. So total I can write 2 rows and 2 columns. So this many number of rows, 4 values I can store in this array. This is called as 2D array example program. So next comes to the question number 5. So we have to explain about what? Question number 5. Question number 5 is what? Go to, continue and break. These are also called as unconditional jumping statements. So why we are saying unconditional jumping statement? So listen, without any condition, these this will be jumping from one statement to another statement. Example, suppose I want to print the numbers from 1 to 10. Suppose I don't like the number 7 now. So if I'm using the statement called break, so generally where we are using this break and continue. So the break and continue can be used within the looping statement. So once it is coming out of the loop, again the break statement will not enter into the loop now. Suppose example, I want to print the numbers from 1 to 10. Suppose I don't like number 7. So if I'm using the concept called as break now, once the I value becomes 7, immediately it will inside the loop to it will come outside the loop. Once it is coming out of the loop, again it will not enter into the loop. So you'll get 1 to 6 only. The 7th, 7, 8, 9, 10, you will not get the answer now. So that is the meaning of break. So continue means, so only which number you don't want, just you skip that number and continue the remaining number. Suppose I want to display the 1 to 10 numbers, you will get 1 to 6 and 7th number it will leave, and 8, 9, 10 you will get. That is the difference between the break and continue. And go to is nothing but, suppose when I am executing the program, so the go to can be used in two ways, top down approach and bottom up approach. So example, when I am executing one statement, suppose directly you are writing go to so and so statement, so directly it will jump from that line to where you want to go. So directly jumping from one location to another location within the program. So that can be done in two ways, top down approach and bottom up approach. So that is you have to explain with one program. The next question is conditional control statements. This is very important question. So why I am saying is because conditional control statement, before concept is what? Unconditional statement. So without any condition it is jumping. So unconditional control statement means for if else if switch, these are all called as conditional control statements. If the condition is true, only that block of statements are executed. If the condition is false, that block of statements are not executed. That is the meaning of conditional control statement. So you have to write about this if statement syntax, if statement definition, syntax, if else definition, syntax, else if definition, syntax, switch definition, syntax, and you have to write the program. So this is about the conditional control statement. So next, when it comes to the unit 3, so unit 3 is very important question is write about the different types of storage class. So we have total 4 different types of storage classes are there. One is auto, register, static, extern. So we have if you go for the C++ also, we have mutable. So one more storage class is there. Total we have 4 classes are C language, 4 storage classes are there. So every storage class, 3 things are very important: the scope and the scope of the variable, and next the default value of the variable, the storage place where that variable is storing, that is also in which memory the variable is storing. These are very important. So you need to compare all these things for all 4 storage classes. Again I'm repeating, scope of the variable means where we can use that variable, where we can access that variable. That is nothing but the meaning of the scope. So default value, once you declare the variable, generally in C language when you write like into A you write. So if you declare the variable, if you don't store any value into this variable A, so what will be stored? Garbage value. Now before to this, did I used any storage class name? By default, whatever the variables you declared in your program, these all are called as auto variables only. So like we have external variable is there, auto variable is there, register variable is there, static variable. So you have to compare all these things. So next the question is call by value and call by reference. What is the meaning of call by value? Whenever you call any function with some parameters, if any changes are happening in user defined function, that should not be affected in main function. So example, if a user defined function is there, so in order to execute any user defined function, the main function has to call the user defined function. Yes, the main function is calling the user defined function. When it is calling, it is taking some values from the main function and it is going to the user defined function. There it is making some changes. So what are the changes which are happening, that should not be reflected in the main function. That is called as call by value. So whereas call by reference, when a main function is calling the user defined function with some parameters, if any changes are happened in user defined function, that should be affected by main function. So that is the difference between the call by value and call by reference. So the next question is define function. So what is the meaning of function? A function is nothing but a well defined task. Okay, a function is nothing but a set of well defined tasks. So example, whatever the concept, suppose I want to perform the addition operation, so for that whatever the things which are required for addition, we have to write the logic. So that logic is nothing but a, okay. Next, subtraction. What, suppose like in whenever you are writing the program, so once you are using the function concept, the advantage is also very very important for the function concept. So code reusability, it means you can write one time function but you can use that same concept multiple times. So just you need to call the function, you create the function one time but that can be called again and again. Whenever you want you can call again and again. So that is the beauty of function. So what we have to do here, you need to write one function and you need to link this function with the arrays concept. So what you do, you need to see, generally in functions concept you can also pass the values to the function, you can also pass the arrays also, you can pass the structures also, you can also pass pointers also, we can pass many different things to the function. So but as per this question, just we need to explain only how to create an array, how to pass an array as a parameter to a function, that we have to explain in this particular question. So next question is explain the dynamic memory allocation and its function. So example, sir, what is the meaning of dynamic memory allocation? So what is the meaning of dynamic memory allocation? So allocating the memory at runtime is known as dynamic memory allocation. So before creating, so generally into a, if I write now, automatically you will be getting 2 bytes of memory. So instead of allocating the memory, runtime will decide. So allocating the memory at runtime is known as dynamic memory allocation. We have so many types of dynamic memory allocation methods are there in C language, like malloc, kellogg, free. So these are all different types of dynamic memory allocation. So in exam, instead of dynamic memory allocation, they may ask malloc, kellogg. Okay, so these both are same. So next one is what is inline function? So okay, in inline function only whatever the parameters we are writing now, automatically, okay, what values will be given. So next, what is pointer? What is the meaning of pointer? A pointer is nothing but is a special variable which is used to store the address of another variable. So pointer is also a variable. So example, when I am writing a normal variable, what you will write here? Int a you will write. So instead of this we can write int star a you are writing. So what is the meaning of star a? Star a is nothing but a pointer variable. So sir, here in this normal variable you can store value, but in this pointer variable you can store the address. Sir, whose address I need to store? Suppose I am having a comma b is there. So you can store the b address in this pointer variable a. So a pointer cannot store its own address, it will store the other variable address. That is the beauty of pointer concept. So we have to write about the pointer with example. So why it is important, we have to write import. No, it's actually important. Okay, so we have to write about this. Okay, so next one, the next last unit is what? So what is structure? You know what is the difference between the arrays? You know array definition, an array is a collection of storing similar type of values in a single variable. So it is same as structure. So what is the difference between the arrays and structure? You know, in structure we can store different type of values. Like example, I can store 10 integer value and 72.5. Okay, and I can write name something Anil or some Kumar or something. So 10 is an integer, 72.5 is a float value, Anil is nothing but what? String value. So these 3 different types of values you can store in one variable. This process is known as structure. So first we have to explain that a structure is a collection of dissimilar type of values in a single variable. In one variable you can store different type of values. So the definition you have to write. Then how to create a structure? You know already structure. Whenever you create a structure, structure will not get any memory space until you create a structure variable. So that everything you have to explain. So next, after explaining, we have to write some simple example program. So how to create a structure and how to pass a value to the structure and how to display the values of a structure, that everything you have to explain. So next question is what is union? So union is also same. It is a collection of storing dissimilar type of values in a single variable. But only the difference between the structure and union is, in structure every member is having individual memory location, whereas for union all the members are having only common memory location. So this is a very very important difference you need to remember. So don't worry, in the next coming days, like tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I'm going to upload the structure and union, whatever the important questions are given. These questions related videos I'm going to upload in my YouTube channel. Please subscribe the channel so that whatever the videos I'm going to upload in my channel, so immediately you'll get a notification. So what I will do, I will explain the concept and immediately I will do the practical concept also, so that you'll be getting both comparisons. Okay, theory as well as the practical, both the things I'm going to do it simultaneously, so that you will be getting the more knowledge. Okay, so next one is what is the write about the enumerated data type. So you know what is the meaning of enumerated data type? So it is nothing but assigning the integer constants. Okay, so by default it will start from 0. So if you want to assign any constants, then you can go for the integer values, then go for enumerated. So complete details I am going to explain with the next coming videos. Okay, so next last question is difference between the structure and union. So before, whatever the points and definitions are same, syntaxes are structure can be created with struct keyword and union can be created with union keyword, and union syntax and structure syntax, and next union example, structure example. In every member of a union is having common all individual memory location. In union every member is having the common memory location, and in union, so whichever the member is having the highest memory space size, that is nothing but the size of the union, and whereas for a structure, which member is having sum of all the members is known as the size of the structure. So we have to explain all these things with your example. So please subscribe my channel Anu Computer Education. Okay, thank you.